with social media stuff. It is PlanetkeyDynamics in a second match today. It will be Nuke against 3D Max, and the Finnish side is considered to be kind of strong as they took down Dat Gaming 16-5, and PlanetkeyDynamics lost against Dat Gaming 16-14. We expect the Finns to win, but let's see if PlanetkeyDynamics can put that loss behind them and actually start doing some magic here on DE Nuke. Stavros in a 1v1 in that important knife round on Nuke. It's very important to start off on the CT side, and he weirdly decides to throw a nade at Caron, who takes him out easily. 3D Max win the knife round, and they start to they decide to start on the CT side. As you might expect, of course, it is the reasonable decision to make. So we are live with the first half between 3D Max and PlanetkeyDynamics. It is Caron, Xati, Reflex, Natu, and Disturbed against Stavros, Struxy, Nex, Clue, and Troubly. And as I said before, it's Clue's birthday today. If anyone cares, drop him a message on his Facebook or somewhere else, or just show a heart. PlanetkeyDynamics with that pissed around that they have tried against Dat Gaming already. This time they are successful in capturing the bomb site. Now they just need to hold it, and Troubly does an amazing job with a headshot onto... Oh my god, what was that by Nex? Through the gap, through that corner of the wall, he took down Reflex, and now he follows it up with another headshot onto Disturbed. It's only Xati against 5 terrorists. The bomb is planted, he's in heaven, everybody's shooting at him. He's just trying to get a highlight reel off here with a second frag already. If the terrorists don't really show... okay, finally he goes down. If the terrorists don't watch out, I was about to say he will pull it off. But luckily for PlanetkeyDynamics, they can finally finish him off and make it 1-0. Their first pistol round today. They have lost both pistol rounds, and I think that was a crucial factor against Dat Gaming, as they, basically have lost 6 rounds by just giving away 2 pistols. This time they won the pistol, and they forced the CTs to save. Let's see if they can follow it up with the 3 rounds that you expect them to do. Disturbed goes down to Stavros to make it a 4v4. The terrorists have lost Clue earlier on, and Natu down to 10 HP already. The terrorists just firing around in lobby, and the CTs doing a few mistakes in showing themselves. Disturbed probably should have stick back a little bit. Planetkey now makes their way through secret stairs into the lower bomb site. 2 CTs already rotating there, or I think 2 are waiting, and 1 is about to rotate. It is Xati to reinforce. Natu with the CZ75. Reflex as well with 1 frag onto Stavros. It is Nex to pull it back for PlanetkeyDynamics. Now he finds himself the second frag of the round onto Natu, but he was down to 4 HP. It's not that big of a deal to take him out. It is a 2v2 still, and we've got 1 P2000 and 1 P250 in the hands of Caron against the 2 terrorists, and Strux with that lucky positioning to see Caron's feet before he actually sees the body. He could obviously shoot him way before the CTs could see him, and now he sees the weapon of Xati to win it and make it 2-0 for PlanetkeyDynamics. They have lost 3 players though, and the economy is not looking too strong right now. They should try to get as many rounds as flawless as possible to get the economy going, and to have 1 or 2 more rounds to buy, even if they start losing, so they can slow down the CT's momentum as soon as we are in the weapon rounds. It is very important for the terrorist side to kind of have the economy bolstered up, so if they lose the first weapon round, they can still buy up and have that high pressure on the CTs throughout the first 5 or even 6 rounds of the game. And the terrorists are going for an outside push. They have a 2-for-1 trade. Nex is firing away onto one additional CT, but magically he didn't connect any bullets. The CT got away without losing any HP. Now Strux gets rid of Reflex. It's Karon and Xati to stand for the CTs. Xati and Karon are close by. They can work together nicely, but Klee blows one up and follows it up with a headshot onto Xati. PlanetkeyDynamics this time only lose one player, as if they heard me speaking. They worked together nicely and only lost Stavros in the process of winning that third round. Now it's the first weapon round. Xati with the AWP and no AWP for PlanetkeyDynamics. They decide to save their money for the upcoming rounds. And as I said, keep that pressure high on the CTs. Now Xati peeks on the outside. The terrorists probably anticipate that AWP play by the CTs and just stay inside. It's like on a stormy day, you rather dig in and you wait for the storm to pass. Now it's the terrorists' turn to make a move on the inside and actually make that storm pass. They smoke off Xati, but he gets the frag onto Stavros through the smoke. Natu pushes radio room and he gets a spray down onto Strux, who should have gotten the frag early on. Clay now with the refrag, and the terrorists suddenly one man down. The bomb is planted on the A bomb site, but PlanetkeyDynamics still hasn't got control of lobby. They now just pulled it back. Karon in the upper bomb site takes out Clay. PlanetkeyDynamics still controlling the bomb, though. Now it's Reflex to take out Troubly. It is Nex in a 3v1 situation. The bomb got smoked off and he spies the first... No, he spies actually all the three players. But the bomb is already being defused by Reflex and PlanetkeyDynamics can't win that round. 3D Max on the board with the first weapon round of the half. And they survive with 3 players. The AWP is saved as well in the hands of Xati. PlanetkeyDynamics should buy, and they decide to do it as well. 5 AKs throughout the board. If they could win this, they would force the CTs on a save. It would be perfect for the outcome of the whole half, if they could manage to force the CTs on a save right now. Now the 2 Molotovs on the entrance to A to slow down the terrorists and prevent that rush. Nothing special. The terrorists just working on the outside, spraying into rafters and trying to force a rotation by the CTs. It is Xati on the outside with the AWP. Being smoked off now, needs to reposition and gets a swift kill onto Troubly. He misses the second shot and now it's the time to Stavros just re-peeking the AWP. Silly play by him. Xati with an easy shot and makes it a 3v5 early on in the round. 40 seconds, well, not really early on, but it is the first advance of the terrorists to do anything. And they lose 2 players while they try to do so. Next now with the refrags, and he gets a frag onto Disturbed as well. Opens up ramp room and allows his teammates to push through while he holds the angle. 3 CTs to counter the 3 terrorists. Next down to 15 HP though. Basically a free kill for any of the 3D Max players. But that Molotov might force the CTs to back off a little bit. Cleave with a headshot onto Karon makes it a 2v3. And the terrorists still able to pull it back. Now Strux turns his back to Reflex, who takes him out from window room. It's Xati with the AWP still in there. He should exchange that weapon for some rifle as his teammate gets killed. He's zooming up and defusing, trying to have that kind of slither of a second faster. But Khalid takes him out, and PlanetkeyDynamics with a 4-1 scoreline, forcing the CTs on a save with a perfect start on the second half. Xati with the opening 2 frags should have enabled the CTs to hold on to that. But I think just fell apart in ramp room when Nex got those 2 frags. He sort of stunned the CTs for a second. PlanetkeyDynamics was able to plant the bomb in the process. And then it was a 3v3 retake. That could go either way on any map, basically. PlanetkeyDynamics came out on top thanks to Clue's 3 kills. And now the CTs are saving with the P250s enhanced. They have lost reflex early on. Natu is down to 25 HP. And the terrorists are just roaming around on the outside. You can see Stavros and Strux already pushing together into ramp room from both directions. Now Disturbed needs to watch out. Natu is in a very hard spot. He can only connect a few shots onto Stavros, then he goes down. And the terrorists will push into the lower bomb site together. They try to overwhelm the CTs over there, and they don't even lose a single player in the process. Great teamwork by PlanetkeyD to actually cover every angle that is possible for a CT to sit in. And of course, the P250, you know, that headshot and the following just nade or whatever, or a body shot or a shot in the toe, and it's a terrorist dead. So you really need to watch out. There are a few positions on the lower bomb site that are very good to ambush the terrorists as they advance. PlanetkeyDynamics were able to cover them all, and now it's 3D Max's time to draw it back. They are 4 rounds down on the CT side on Nuke, and if they can't make it at least a 9-6, I see a very, very dark future for the Finnish side of 3D Max. Now Natu with a swift rotation to cover the upper bomb site. Xati with the opening frag on ramp room. And it's a 3v5 in favor of the CTs. Exactly what they needed. The early frags to kind of relieve some of the stress. And now they can work out where the terrorists are actually trying to go with those 3 players. But as we have learned, PlanetkeyD is always able to upset the CTs again. They were down 2 men earlier on, and they still managed to pull it back. So it's still focus time for the CTs. The terrorists will make their way to the upper bomb site though, and there are 3 CTs ferociously firing at them. Next was the only one to get a frag in between. And the CTs win it without any problems. 5-2, 3D Max back on the board. And they obviously can't force the terrorists to save. In fact, the terrorists actually go for the AWP. And there seems to be some miscommunication on who to buy which nades. And they had to go back and forth a little, wasting some time, but not too much. But the CTs with a FAMAS in the hands of Caron, the AWP back in Xati's mighty hands. And let's see if he can pick up those important frags on the outside to close the terrorists out over there. And he gets a frag onto Troubly once again. Xati is always one of the trustful AWP players to pick up those shots. Strux wasn't there to retaliate. And the terrorists are stunned on the outside. The smoke dissolves. Now they are very open to be shot at from the window room as well. Xati should switch his position though. He sticks with it, and he might be pushed by the terrorists from the side. Let's see, Stavros is actually getting a free shot off onto Xati, who didn't expect Stavros to be there. Stavros keeps pushing, and he might pressure the Heaven player Disturbed as well. The CTs now need to watch their own backs, as they are in a few very precarious situations. Disturbed can't move too much anymore as Strux is flashing and smoking into the upper bomb site for the go to happen. Reflects with 2 amazing frags onto Clue and company. Caron and Disturbed to finish it off. It is 3D Max all over the place in the upper bomb site. PlanetkeyDynamics throw this round away, even though they had Strux on the outside. They couldn't utilize that player to pressure the CTs. And they fell down short. 3-5 the scoreline is. Still the terrorists in a good position in this half time. Even if they would lose every round, it is still a good scoreline for them. Let's see if they will feed Xati a few frags. Xati with the opening. Natu seals the deal on ramp room. And once again, it's a 5v3 early on in the round. Sati still on the outside, misses a shot that he normally should have hit. And now the walking shot certainly doesn't work out for Xati. But luckily for him, it's only a save round. It's not much pressure on him. As I say that, Strux goes to work with the picked up AK. And it's a 3v3 again. Thanks to Caron's play though, he takes out next in HUD. It's a 2v3 and I think 3D Max needs to watch out. Still Stavros with the AWP in his hands. And he's stepping on the outside. Natu is just watching him and he gets a frag. Disturbed drew him in. He baited a little bit for his teammate to pick up the frag. Strux is now left alone on the lower bomb side. He's still trying to go to the upper. I would just try to plant the bomb on lower. Just pull through. And that's exactly what he would do in his next seconds. And he will actually manage to get away as well, uncontested. He could now set up a defense behind that bomb site if he's not pushed from the side, but Natu kills him before he could even do that. PlanetkeyD lose another round, and 3D Max comes back into the game, clawing their way back to a 4-5 scoreline. And as you can see, the economy for the terrorists down the drain for a second, now that they have lost 3 rounds in a row and got the plant. They are back on a weapon round, but the CT is slowly but surely building up momentum. We've got 7k and 6k for Natu and Caron, 4k for Xati. And this means that the CTs, if they give away a round, they can instantly buy up again. PlanetkeyD needs to do some more work to force the CTs to save. PlanetkeyD just hanging out in lobby, casually looking and checking the angles as Disturbed gets a frag onto Troubly. Caron completely flashed, gets taken out by Stavros, but Reflex got one as well. It's a 3v4 in the upper bomb side. PlanetkeyD needs to plant the bomb really soon. Natu is completely smoked off. Nice smoke by PlanetkeyD. The bomb gets planted and Nex needs to get out of there. He takes refuge in HUD as Reflex is down to 12. Disturbed goes down to Stavros. Stavros still working. Gets a frag on the Reflex as well. Strux it behind that corner. Behind that crate. Gets a frag onto Natu and Xati with his AWP in a 3v1 situation. He's got the defuse kit. He can make it happen. But he needs to find 3 terrorists. He finds the first one. Strux and Nex still in the bomb site. But now the bomb is ticking too fast. He needs to retreat and try to save that weapon for the next round. PlanetkeyDynamics make it happen in an upper execution that finally worked out for them, as they were not really successful against Stat Gaming with those upper executions, and all their other A goes failed against 3D Max. I thought this was going to be another fail, but PlanetkeyD pulled through and won the 6th round on the terrorist side on DE Nuke. This is already a very nice scoreline for them to look back at, as we are just 2/3 into this first half on the GameShow League, obviously brought to you by Dabu, that's me, and Game Agents TV, that's the channel you're watching. And if you care and appreciate our work, then you're invited to follow and take part in the giveaway that will happen at the 22nd of September. We will give away the CS Complete Pack with all the CS games. Caron and Xati make the experience work, and the terrorists with another upper execution completely fail and get stomped, lose 3 players in the process of pushing the bomb site. Now it's time for Strux and Clue to at least take out as many weapons as they can. I highly doubt they will manage to either plant the bomb or win that match, win that round. Especially as Clue's position is compromised already. Disturbed goes down to the headshot. Still, it's a 4v1. Clue is just now trying to save the weapon in secret stairs. The CTs are playing very patient. They are still waiting for him Natu is the one to close in, and he gets a frag from the side. Clue wasn't expecting him to be that aggressive, but obviously the CTs know that he is in secret stairs, so why not push him from the terrace spawn or slash from lobby. 3D Max drawing it back to a 5-6 scoreline. Yeah, condition 0 for the win. I hate it when you install 1.6 and you've got the condition 0 skins. It always makes me cringe. But let's stay with that game as PlanetkeyDynamics with a save round up ahead. Caron gets a first frag with that nade, reflects with another one. Nice headshots there by him. On main, that running pass headshot always looks so nice with the ragdolls. But PlanetkeyDynamics push the ramp room together. They almost blow up to that nade, but somehow they stayed alive. I don't know, probably they have bulletproof feet or something like that. 3v4 situation. 3D Max still in control of the lower bomb site. Reflex is there to pick up a 4K in that save round. 3 headshots and 1 normal kill in there. 6-6 the scoreline. 3D Max needs to win the remaining 3 rounds to stay alive in this matchup. Otherwise, CS once again proves to be one of the momentum-based games, and it always depends on the pissed rounds, of course. PlanetkeyDynamics manages to win the 3D Max game. I think it just shows that Nuke is a map that is highly dependent on the terrorist side. As you see, the terrorists once again executing on the upper bomb side, losing 4 players, only leaving Strux alive, and he gets taken out from the outside actually by Xati. 3D Max win 3 consecutive rounds, and potentially, if we follow the rule, it is time for the terrorists to pick one up. But they are in a save round, and it's highly doubtful they will manage to do that. See Xati on the outside with the AWP again, as Natu with a double kill. In the inner bomb site, Xati missing 2 shots. And he looked so good and so on point, but somehow he lost his momentum, I think. Got the frag with a nade nonetheless. But I expected him to pick that frag up with his scope. Oh my. Oh my. I just took that 1 second to see what is going on in the chat, and I read, you must be a not autistic member to see this comment. Great stuff that you have fun in the chat. Of course, if you have fun watching the stream, hit the follow button. This is 3D Max against PlanetkeyDynamics, the last round of this first half in the GameShow League, brought to you by Game Agents TV. And I am Boo, casting from Munich for you. PlanetkeyDynamics with a very nice scoreline in this first half on the terrorist side. If they could manage to make it 8-7, it would be more or less perfect. But of course it's not over then. They still need to go through on the CT side. And Troubly together with Strux, was it? Gets the frag onto Xati on the outside. They finally got rid of that AWP. And I think they have worked out some sort of strategy to actually work their way around the outside to get rid of the outside control of the CTs, as Natu gains control on the inside on ramp room. Reflects with a cheeky push from the secret stairs. Should have gotten the frag, but goes down to 15 HP. Needs to retreat. Now Natu in ramp goes down to Troubly, and the terrorists have completely captured the hell and ramp room. Now Strux needs to play around with the ladder a little bit. Gets flashed completely by his teammate. Another flash rains in. Strux is rendered completely useless for a second. Disturb takes himself out by jumping down. Probably being flashed as well. Decides to suicide and jump down like a virgin from the tower. And it's left to a 3v1 situation. PlanetkeyDynamics with that wrap around through the outside into upper bomb side. Finally had success on the A. And well, Reflex tried to push in with that flash, But Troubly is there to collect his third frag of the round. And PlanetkeyD make it 8-7. A really good scoreline for them. And maybe they can make up for the loss against Stud Gaming. But I think for all the bettors, it is very bad, as everybody expected PlanetkeyD to win against Stud Gaming and to lose against 3D Max. Now PlanetkeyD are about to upset all the betting guys 2 times in a row. Let's see how many hate threats we can get on hltv.org. But of course, as I said, PlanetkeyD hasn't won that match yet. It's still the second half here between the Finns and the Germans, and the Finns are romping into Ramp Room, getting the frag onto Clue without even losing that much HP. And they are in control of the lower bomb site. There's Stavros still at back of that nuke, but he goes down to Disturb's Glock headshot. It's a 3v5, now a 2v5 thanks to Xati, Strux and Troubly. Now it's only Troubly alive for the CTs. And he's pushed from behind by Natu. 3D Max with a very fast pistol round to start it off on the second half. 9-7 the scoreline is, but PlanetkeyD on the CT side should potentially be on the easier side. As we see on the scoreboard, we have Nex with 11 frags, Strux with 10. On the other side, we have Xati with 16, Reflex, Caron, and Natu with 13. And Disturbed is lacking a little bit. He only has 4 at the moment. The CTs completely give up the outside as Strux went down to 20 HP early on. He pulled back, and so did Troubly. Together they retreated into the lower bomb site to kind of dig themselves in there. 3D Max gathered around the outside. Nobody is hanging back. They try to stay together to not lose too many players in this very important second round. If they give it away, of course, the momentum swings back to the CT side. And that's why they are playing so cautious, so patient. And they together corner the corner. Yeah, they corner the corner. Clue not able to pick up the frag with the P250. The terrorists now work their way in, but there are 3 CTs waiting for them, shooting from them from every direction. Disturbed down to 9 HP. Xati down to 67. And 4 CTs now in there in the lower bomb site. The time is running out as well. Strux, Clue, and Next combine to make it a 1v3 situation. Natu the only one alive. And suddenly it's the CTs to jump in and get that round 9-8. The scoreline, PlanetkeyD upset the terrorists in the second half. In the second round of the second half. And this was really played too slow by 3D Max. They gave the CTs all the time of the world to pull back at first, then to pull themselves back together, and then to actually set up the trap. And as soon as they tried to enter the lower bomb site, the CTs were waiting for them at every direction. Every angle was covered and everything went wrong for 3D Max, but maybe they can make up for that. Strux already down, probably down to 11 HP. Stavros with the automatic shotgun, pulling off some magic in the secret stairs, gains 2 frags, makes it a 4v2. Caron and Xati, the last man standing. Xati with an AK that he pulled out of his magic hat. He had some spare money. Oh no, he probably got dropped the AK, as he's got armor and head armor as well. And it's a 2v2, so this round is still not over. 3D Max hangs in there. And Caron with an amazing frag, amazingly important as well onto Clue. 27 seconds on the clock, and the bomb is still in the hands of Xati, who swiftly takes out Troubly while passing on to the bomb site. 3D Max trading that round back onto PlanetkeyD, and somehow they made it 2-1 in the second half, and 10-8 overall, forcing the CTs to save again. PlanetkeyDynamics can't capitalize on the momentum swing. And even though Stavros got those 2 shotgun frags in the secret stairs and they had a 3v4 situation, they were still not able to pull it off. Now it's the CT side to return the favor of upsetting the terrorists, but it's looking very bad for them. Only Strux and Clue left, and it's 1:20 on the clock. 4 terrorists now sticking together in lobby. Strux is the one to be on rafters, while Clue is in secret stairs. And the terrorists are still in lobby / radio room. They're now making their way towards the A bomb site, where Strux is waiting with a headshot of the USPS and a following normal hit. He couldn't pull off the second kill though, and Clue from main gets taken out by Natu. 3D Max make it 11-8, and the CT is now with the second weapon round probably. No AWP in their lineup, but the terrorists lack the big green as well. Even no. But 3 rounds between 3D Max and PlanetkeyD. If the CTs can't swing that momentum round in the next few rounds, it's gonna be very hard for them. But as I say that, Caron and company push in the A bomb site, and they completely get demolished by the CTs. Once again, and direct A push is disastrous for the terrorist side. PlanetkeyD make it 11-9 and close the gap to only 2 more rounds. The terrorists force it up. They have 3 AKs and 2 P250s. They try to make it happen with that force buy, and obviously they would need to save in the next round. This is do or die for the Finns. If they manage to win it, PlanetkeyD will have to save. If they not manage to win it, they have to save, and PlanetkeyD will probably close the gap and make it 11-11. Now Troubly with the first frag onto Reflex, as Clue is holding ramp room with a Molotov. He's forcing the terrorists back a little bit. Look at Caron on the outside. No, he's actually in secret stairs, and I don't think the CTs have gathered the information that he's around there. Oh, look at Troubly. He's already looking at window room as Clue takes down 2 in a swift kill. Xati in the turret goes down. Stavros takes out Caron, who would have been the only terrorist in a position to make something happen. Now it's Natu alone with 1 HP. He's got the second of the round already in a 3v1. This would be really sick if he could pull this off. But 2 CTs are already waiting for him on the outside of HUD. And if he wants to go through there, it's probably a dead end. And indeed, he is dead, and it's his end. Stavros picks up the headshot, 11-10. The Germans are getting closer and closer. 3D Max slowly losing ground on the terrorist side. And as just like the match before, the crucial time is when it's 11-8 or 11-9, somewhere around there. If the CTs manage to pull off the 2 or 3 round streak, and that sort of stage of the game, it just makes the terrorists crumble a little bit. And as soon as the CTs have drawn the game, I think the terrorists have really lost their momentum and have lost their kind of motivation to get back on the game. It seems like from that point on, every terrorist team is struggling, and even if they pull off 1 or 2 rounds, it always looks like a real struggle. And I think that this is the time of the match for 3D Max to lose their momentum. PlanetkeyD now pulled 3 rounds back to back. After that sort of round trading at the beginning of the second half, they finally got on track, and it's 3D Max's time to work out how the CTs defend and to find a hole inside the defense. And this is what Caron and company are trying to do right now. They're working on the outside. They have 4 players over there The PlanetkeyD already prepares for that outside push. Suddenly, sadly, for the Germans, the terrorists don't lose a single player while they were pushing through. But Stavros already gathering information, goes down to Xati, who is covering the back. Now it's his time to show up, but he doesn't get the frag onto Troubly, who is holding the lower bomb site. He draws in Klü to support him, and Klü gets a frag onto Natu. Now together with Nex, he tries to cover Vents as Troubly takes on the double doors. Strux is supporting them from window room, gets a frag but overextends against Caron. It's a 3v3. Reflex about to enter the Vents, and it might be his end or the end of the CTs, and he gets a headshot onto Nex. Klü and Troubly standing for the Germans. Caron, Xati and Reflex to make it happen for the Finns. And it's only 25 seconds on the clock. The CTs... Well, the terrorists are actually going for the re-rotation into the A bomb, so this is going to be really close. They have one player inside there. It's Xati to hold the bomb site, but it's Klü to take down 2 of the terrorists. Now Xati gets a refrag and makes it a 1v1, but only 5 seconds on the clock. Troubly hides away already, and Xati will not manage to plant the bomb. Actually, he plants it after the time ran out. That's something that rarely happens. And PlanetkeyD, just like in the game against Stat Gaming, this time they are on the better end of that. The bomb plant doesn't go through situation. 12-11 for the Germans. 3D Max was so close of gaining that round with that mad rotation. 20 seconds left. They were on the secret stairs and they still, you know, that decision making. Imagine if you're in that position to make that decision. Okay, let's rotate back to A. We've got 20 seconds. Go, you know. It doesn't matter. Let's go to A. And actually, sadly for the Finns, this decision didn't pay off. The Germans got out on top thanks to another double kill by Klü. And they are up against that save round now. The terrorists decided to buy 1 AK. But they got simply picked off on the outside. One after another went down to Strux and Troubly. Now it's Caron together with a bomb. He makes his way onto the outside, and the CTs don't know that he's over there. Strux has completely missed checking that. And Caron is actually now turning around again to take a look at Strux, just to be sure. Did he see me? Okay, he didn't see me. So let's go onto the A bomb site, and he will put down the bomb, losing 30 HP on the jump.
Bomb has been planted.
And obviously making sound as well. The CTs don't know that it's on A. They have dropped down to the lower bomb site. Caron is still up there. If he could delay them a little bit longer, it's possible that he manages to clutch it down. But as I say that, Troubly comes into Hut and takes him out. Still, amazing play by Caron to sneak through and actually attack upper alone and get the bomb planted. PlanetkeyDynamics showing some decent miscommunication by rotating to the lower bomb site, even though it was planted on the upper. But stuff like that happens, I guess. 21 frags for Xati and Natu. On the other side, we have 18 for Struxy, Nex and Stavros with 17 each. And it's still disturbed with only 5 on the Finnish squad. 3D Max now with another altar push. Caron with the opening frag onto Troubly, who was on the catwalk. The rest of the terrorist squad hanging out in radio room and securing lobby against the CTs. Getting some decent damage dealt into Stavros and Strux, who are down to 63 and 62. But 3D Max still hasn't decided what to do next. Reflex is pushing down into secret together with Caron, who's covering his back. And they will probably try to wrap around into the lower bomb site, but they could have kind of exploited their position to attack the upper bomb site as well. 3D Max, miss flashing. There is Xati hitting. Disturbed in the back with that flash. And the terrorists make their way into the lower bomb site. 3D Max now with 5 players in there, but they have lost a considerable amount of HP already. And Stavros is still in toxic, and he gets the 1 frag. He gets a second as well. Next with 1 as well. Ixati and Caron to stand for the terrorists, and they both take down 1 CT each to make it a 1v2 situation. Strux still standing for the Germans with 33 HP and the AWP in his hands. Caron with the headshot finishes him off. And he's thinking about taking that AWP to the next round to drop it to Xati. 3D Max win that crucial round and draw it back to a 12-13 scoreline. The Finns don't give up on the Germans and stay in the game. And actually, PlanetkeyDynamics would need to save if they lose this and enable the Finns to make it 14-13. And this would be a game breaker for the Germans, I think. It is always about that momentum in CS. The Germans don't have an AWP, but Xati is checking out the outside. Luckily for PlanetkeyDynamics, Druxy is not peeking out, he's just waiting for the terrorists to make their move into secret stairs. Natu already got killed at ramp room. Clue holding it. No, Stavros actually got the frag from HUD as the terrorists now push the outside. It is Druxy on Garage to take down Caron. He pushes around, gets killed by Xati, who just saved his teammate's life with that AWP shot. And the terrorists make their way into secret stairs together, but they have lost 2 players already. PlanetkeyDynamics with the information that the terrorists will go down the stairs. Stavros already checking their back, and it's Troubly being flamed, being forced out of position. He decides to go forward and try to get his luck with a shot, but Next and Troubly with 1 frag each. Next with a second. Close out the terrorists in the lower bomb site. 14-12. 3D Max with a kind of nice attempt, but they had lost too many players while building up that strategy. And I think it was Druxy's positional play in Garage that enabled PlanetKey to rotate the players into the lower bomb site and to prepare. Stavros checked out radio room, lobby and the outside alone and got into the back of the Finns without them noticing, and gathered all the information for his teammates to actually fully rotate to the lower bomb site without hesitation. And that's how PlanetKey won that crucial round. 3D Max with a forced buy to Galil's 1P250 in the hands of Reflex, Natu and Disturbed. And this is probably their last attempt on PlanetKey. Will the Germans win that game and upset a hell load of bettors or not? This is a question in this maybe 15th round for PlanetkeyDynamics. Let's see. Still nothing happened. 45 seconds on the clock. We see Troubly is nervously running back and forth, unsure where to cover, where to go. PlanetkeyDynamics is still not sure where the terrorists are coming from. Reflex on the outside. There is no CT. Sadly for the Finns, he didn't check secret stairs. Otherwise, there would have been a great opportunity for them to open up. But Caron doesn't need that opportunity. He just forces the issue on ramp room. Takes down 2. Strux is down to 10 HP as well. It's a 4v3. And it looks like 3D Max might take it. Reflex with a backstab onto Next. Gets a frag. Disturbed on the bomb site. Takes out Stavros. And it's Strux left alone with those 10 HP. PlanetkeyDynamics played way too passive and allowed the terrorists to sneak or to force the issue on ramp room and then just plant the bomb on the lower bomb side. Strux saves his weapon for the next round, and 3D Max will win this and make it 13-14. The money is not looking too good for the Germans as well. Even though they have won the last round, they kind of didn't build their economy throughout the half. And if Strux doesn't watch out, he will go down to Reflex. Oh, that nade is dangerous, but he just barely stayed alive. 14-13. This is going down the wire once again. So I hope you're still awake. Well, it's not that late. It's not that late. But it's the second game of PlanetkeyDynamics that goes to a potential 16-14 scoreline. Or maybe they can close it out 16-13. Let's see. Sati with a Galil in his hands. The CT is fully bought up. They have to win it now or never. While the Finns still have some time to work with. Considering their money, if they manage to buy, they could still make it 15-15. But if the CTs lose this one, it will look very bad for them. They will probably, well, maybe do a double save or force buy the following round. This is all down to the economy. The terrorists make the CTs wait for their push. Once again, the CTs are just left guessing. And once again, they are going for a very passive setup. Look at the CTs. Everybody is in one place, basically. Nobody checks out secret stairs. Nobody on the outside. This is probably... oh, this is almost a recreation of the last round that we just saw. Next and Natu now trade frags, make it a 4v4. 20 seconds on the clock. The terrorists really need to hurry up. Strux lets the terrorists plant the bomb, and it's retake time for PlanetkeyDynamics. Let's see if they can pull it off against 4 terrorists. Natu down to 30 HP. The CTs take their time in getting into position, but it probably will start to go any second now. Strux waits for the flash of his teammates. Reflex gets the first one. Strux with one back. He should get the information, and he gets a frag as well. Makes it a 2v2. Is Natu still on the bomb site? Goes down to Klee, but the bomb is ticking too fast. Sati still gets the cheeky kill into Klee's back, but then blows up to the bomb. And PlanetkeyDynamics just barely missed that retake. They took too much time to get into position, and 3D Max win it and make it 14-14. The Germans left saving only that one rifle in Struxy's hands. The M4A1 put against 5 AKs. 3D Max with the momentum again, swinging back into their favor after winning 2 rounds in a row. They must feel very good, and they go for a straight A attack, and this time it is not the CTs demolishing the terrorists, but the other way around. 3 early frags in favor of the terrorist squad. And Strux gets taken out as well by the hands of Disturbed. 3D Max will surely make it 15-14. As Klee is standing alone in the lower bomb site with his P250 in his hands. There's not much he could do. Maybe take down Disturbed. But the terrorists will probably get through without losing a play. A very convincing round. Klee tries to get the frag. He does force the team frag by reflex onto Xati. But it doesn't really matter for the last round. The money is looking good for the terrorists, but it's not looking too strong for the CTs. They can still afford everything they need to make it 15-15, or maybe 3D Max will upset the Germans and make it 16-14 and actually show us that that halftime score of 8-7 doesn't tell us anything on Nuke. On these kind of level of skill, every team is able to do the same to the other team in the second half. And the CTs with a almost same setup. Once again, we see the recreation of the last 3 rounds. PlanetkeyD sticking together. The terrorists have put Reflex on the outside. He's checking out everything. And now gets opposed by Strux, who overextends a little bit and goes down to the headshot of Reflex without even dealing a single point of damage to the Finn. And it certainly does hurt the CTs most. The loser player Natu takes out Stavros, anticipating that he will drop after that smoke. Next gets the refrag, makes it a 3v4, but he will need to do so much more work. Clue takes out Xati in ramp room, but disturbed with the refrag. And it's Reflex to take out Next. Troubly standing alone against 3. He took down Reflex already, but Caron and Disturbed still alive. 27 on the clock. And Troubly in the vents. Now sneaking up, well, not really sneaking, romping up, goes down to the AK of Caron, and 3D Max win it 16-14. 25 frags for almost everybody on the Finnish squad, only Disturbed lacking a little bit. And Planet Key win both maps 16-14. Really different kind of nuke that we saw the second time we saw it. And the first map was played completely different. Still, PlanetkeyDynamics ended up in the same score position, 16-14. Both maps went to the opponents. Stud Gaming won the first nuke, and the second nuke was won by 3D Max.